North Central's baseball team has the conference title in its sight. The softball and tennis teams jump into the CCIW tournament action, and the track and field programs are cruising till the CCIW tournament. All this and much, much more as the Cardinal Report rolls on. North Central College baseball team had its 10-game win streak snap Wednesday in an 8-7 loss to Rockford. Joining me today is the coach of the Cardinals, John Fitzgerald. Coach, 10 straight wins. It had been since April 17th, an 11-7 loss to Carthage. That was the second game of a doubleheader until the team's next loss. Just kind of talk about that. Yesterday against Rockford, the team was held scoreless throughout the first 7 innings.
We were, and that's a bit of a rarity for us, obviously, if you take a look at our offensive numbers this year. You know, I was a little disappointed with our approach yesterday, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. We've had a lot of success. All games are obviously very important now. When you talk about the possibility of not getting the automatic bid, we've played ourselves into a situation where we at least are in consideration down in the top 20 to get an at-large bid, although they're very hard to come by. So every game's important, be it conference, be it non-conference. And I thought our approach wasn't very good yesterday. Now, that being said, I think some of our guys are pressing a little bit because they do care so much. And you want your guys to be able to press and care that much and leave it all out there, but sometimes it can be counterproductive in this game. So you're going to have days like that. I think the best thing that could come out of that is we figure out we can't turn it on and off like that. And we don't have that mistake again as we head toward the tournament.
But the team certainly did turn it on in the final 2 innings, putting up 7 runs. Tyler Herman, a sophomore for you, he had a solid day. 6 2/3 innings pitched. Gave up 10 hits, but he had 7 Ks. He also gave up 6 earned runs.
Yeah, you know, Tyler obviously started in our rotation beginning of the year. Struggled a little bit. We made a switch there, and he's come out of the bullpen since then. We extended him yesterday. This was a funny week for us. We had 2 midweek games in addition to the 3 conference games we have on the weekend. So we needed 5 starters this week. Tyler stepped up and did a great job. As a matter of fact, the first pitch he threw yesterday was a home run. After that, he really settled in and gave us a chance to stay in the ball game. Our offense had opportunities. I think on the day we left 14 guys on base, which is very uncharacteristic of us, but we hit about 4 or 5 double plays. So we had some chances. Tyler kept us in there. He threw well, and we extended him a little bit, probably too much so. To be perfectly honest with you, he was getting a little bit tired. I want to say it was the 6th or the 7th inning, and you know, I left him in for a pitch too long. Runners were at first and second. I was hoping he was going to get out of the inning. My hunch was he would with that guy at the plate, and the first pitch, the guy had a 3-run homer, and all of a sudden it went from being a 3-run deficit to a 6-run deficit. So, you know, I take complete fault on that. I hope that doesn't come back to bite us, because one sleepless night about that was enough for me last night.
Well, outside of that, though, the season has been great. The Cards, they registered their 3rd series sweep of the year with a 4-3 win over Augustana. Coach, 3 series sweep, that's against CCIW teams.
It's been, to a certain extent, almost a magical year for what we've done. I mean, when you think about the fact that we won 11 games last year, and even though I think we all knew we were going in the right direction, we had some bad breaks. And to do what we've done this year has been phenomenal. Now, as the quasi-parent of the group, it's a different outlook. You know, this is a year where a lot of great things can happen. And it'll be fun to look back on those in June, July, and over the next 5 to 10 years. But we're not there yet. And that's what we have to keep in mind. We haven't clinched anything yet. We haven't won a conference tournament yet. We haven't made a regional yet. We haven't made a World Series yet. We can look back on a lot of this stuff, and I think a lot of records will fall this year when it's over. And until then, I don't want us to let up, because afterwards, I don't want to have regret that we didn't give it our all. So, you know, it's my job and our coaching staff's job to make sure we keep our eyes kind of on the prize a little bit through these next few weeks. And then we can look back on it and enjoy it, as opposed to looking back and saying, what if and, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda type thing.
Coach, it seems like one guy that's had his eyes on the prize and is trying to help the Cardinals get there is junior Nate Aronson. He entered the game with a 2.18 ERA, a 7-0 record in 45 innings. That's tops in the CCIW, but he only gave up 2 hits through 4 innings. He ended the day against Augustana, 7 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 8 hits and 2 earned runs.
Yeah, there's not much you can say about Nate. He was Conference Pitcher of the Week this week as a result of that, and he beat Wheaton on the Monday prior when we finished that 3-game series. When Nate pitches, we have an opportunity to win. And better than that, we do win, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, he's 7-0 on the season. He deserved a much better fate on Sunday against Augustana. That was kind of the start of us not swinging the bats that well. And we had to win a close game on that Sunday 4-3, and we did so in the bottom of the 9th inning. We need games like that. But Nate does a great job. I mean, Nate gets outs. He's very efficient with his pitch count. He fields his position very well, and he's just one of those guys that goes out there and he's a gamer. And when he's between the lines on the bump, he's going to give it his all, and he's been successful this year. Obviously, the numbers bear that out. So he didn't get the win in that one. Obviously, we weren't able to hold a lead for him in the top of the 9th inning, but we did win it, and that was a big win for us, I think.
Well, in the 4-3 win over Augustana, the Cardinals got their 3rd series sweep of the season, and we got reactions in this week's What's the Word?
You know, we only need one more win to clinch the conference, and going out this way is definitely the best way. We've been used to pummeling teams all year, 14-2 and stuff like that. We haven't had a game like this in months, so it's definitely you know, wake up that we gotta stay on top of our game to come on top.
When we played them yesterday, we were hitting the ball really well. Just unfortunately, we were hitting them right at people. So we came out here with the same mentality that we had yesterday. For the most part, we did a pretty good job today. We just didn't find the holes.
I think I only had 1 strikeout today, so a lot of ground balls, and it was a good job by our defense. I mean, I don't think they made any errors when I was out there, so that's all I'm looking for from them, just make the plays. Home field advantage is everything, and I mean, you know, we win here a lot, and I think it's tough for other teams to come out here. It's big for us. I mean, better chance of winning it, I think, if we're playing here.
In baseball, you know, the more wins you accumulate, the more confidence you get. And so when everyone's doing their jobs, like especially on our team, everyone not only offensively but defensively, and you know, for us to keep getting these victories and going into the conference tournament, hopefully the regional, you know, is awesome to get that confidence and to know that we can beat anybody and hang with anybody.
Well, Coach, like we said, it's been a great season, but what's this team need to do to be successful in the CCIW tournament?
Keep going at it. Keep showing up every day. I think when we do press, we get away from our roles a little bit. And when we've been successful, everybody kind of does their roles. Hit behind runners, steal bases, sacrifice, do those kind of things. The numbers prove we're good. We just need to kind of believe in that a little bit and show up to play every day, and we should be fine, I think.
Absolutely. Well, stay tuned to starting pitcher Mike Kloss and starting shortstop Nick Robinson join us to talk all things baseball. We'll be right back.